Hi everybody and welcome to Prep Sports America. I'm Rich Estrella. Number 1 versus number 2 is a matchup made in sports heaven. The title alone instills visions of greatness, classic performances, but rarely does it happen in high school football. Not unanimously anyway. Too many polls. Well, not this year. Everybody agreed that last Friday night's game between Bishop Gorman and Mater Dei were truly the top 2 teams in this year's prep football landscape. Gorman is the defending national champion, and Mater Dei is the odds-on favorite to win the national title this year. The Monarchs and Gales tuned up against teams in the national top 10 to start the season, and now the winner of this contest definitely has the inside track to another national title. So let's get to it. The Monarchs begin the game on their own 23 after a 22-yard kickoff return by Jules Parham. On second and short, Jordan Davison powers up the middle for an 11-yard gain. Mater Dei quarterback Ashton Byerly was flawless in his opening sequence, completing all 4 of his pass attempts for 42 yards. This 14-yard pass completion to Caden Dixon-Wyatt puts the Monarchs on the Gorman 1-yard line. One play later, it's Davison punching it in from a yard out, putting the Monarchs on the board first, 7-0. The opening drive was very balanced, covering 77 yards on 11 plays.
The first quarter,
Gorman's opening drive began with the 6-yard run into the heart of the Monarchs defense by Miles Norman. After a fumbled snap resulting in a 6-yard loss, the Monarchs turned up the pressure as linebacker Dalen Clanton sacks Melvin Spicer for an 8-yard loss, forcing the Gales to punt. After a 35-yard punt, Mater Dei begins their second possession at midfield. Byerly hits Dixon-Wyatt for a 20-yard gain down to the Gorman 30. On the next play, Byerly on a keeper runs for 9 yards. 2 plays later, it's Byerly again on this 18-yard keeper down to the Gorman 12. On the next play, now don't blink on this one, as Mater Dei wide receiver Chris Henry Jr. makes a spectacular one-handed touchdown grab with Hayden Stepp in his back pocket. Henry's catch puts the Monarchs up 14-0 with just 3:25 remaining in the first quarter. On Bishop Gorman's ensuing possession, the Gales rushed 4 successive times for 32 yards just before the end of the first quarter. To open up the second quarter, the Gales misfire on 2 passes. Then on third down, the Monarchs blitz and sack Spicer for a loss. This sets up a 27-yard field goal attempt that goes wide left, and the score remains 14-0. It's early in the second quarter. After a Monarchs punt, the Gales get to work, starting from their own 35. Jonathan Core rushed the ball 5 times for 40 yards. The last 2 carries were 12 and 18 yards respectively, putting the Gales at the Monarchs' door, and they were knocking. 2 plays later, quarterback Maika Eugenio on a play-action pass hits Anthony Hickman for a wide-open touchdown. As the Gales finally get on the board with 43 seconds before halftime, the score is now 14-7. To open up the second half, Gorman goes 3 and out and punts to the Monarchs, who get good field position at their own 42-yard line. The Monarchs then mix things up, beginning with a short run by Davison, a quarterback keeper by Byerly, pass completion from Byerly to Gavin Horn. Then back to Davidson for a 12-yard pickup. And it's Davison again, this time on a 23-yard touchdown run, untouched, his second of the evening. The extra point is good, and with 7:38 to play in the third, it's Mater Dei up 21-7. The Gales go 3 and out again and punt. Mater Dei then goes on another 11-play drive, mixing it up, so the Gales defense has to continue to play honest and stay home. The way Mater Dei's offense is playing, you can't load up anywhere or you'll pay the price. After stopping Davison twice on second and third and short, the Monarchs opt for a 26-yard field goal by Dominic Zante to up their lead at 24-7 with 10:25 remaining in the game. On Gorman's next possession, On second down, C.J. Lavender picks off Eugenio's pass and returns it 37 yards down to the Gorman 30. Two plays later, Trenton Dunn reverses his field on his way to an 11-yard touchdown run, pushing the Monarchs' lead to 31-7 with just 8:53 remaining. Gorman would score another touchdown with 1:16 left to play. The Gales would convert on a two-point conversion, making the final score 31-15. With the win, the Monarchs snapped the Gales' 27-game winning streak. In 2017, Mater Dei also snapped Gorman's 55-game win streak. Afterward, I spoke with both head coaches about tonight's game.
17, right? Yeah, I played against the 17 team. I thought it was amazing. These guys, again, were about that same caliber. You know, they had a lot of dudes, especially the guys that had just got in, Henry, the other receivers-wise. They had just a star-studded offense. We kind of knew that, you know, defensively, they were just as good as they've always been. So we knew it was going to be a tough game. We didn't capitalize on some things that we should have. You know, and that can't do that against this team. You know, they'll make you pay. Definitely, they were prepared. We were prepared. We just made mistakes. You know, and they didn't make a lot of mistakes. And I'm looking at, you know, a really, really good team we just played. We're going to get better from playing them, and that's why you play the game, right? Like, you're trying to go find the best guys out there and see how good you are, and it's going to really test us. And I mean, this game is going to make us better.
Coach, congratulations first off on a big win. You played another great opponent this week. They were number 2 team in the country coming in, defended national champ. Coach, talk about the contrast between your first week and this week.
At the end of the game, we ran into the locker room and I talked to the kids, and I pretty much told them that we definitely look better this week. And so obviously we did improve, but we need to still continue to improve. So the season's still early, so each day we're going to be preaching about us getting better. So again, it never ends.
You're playing some competitive teams that can definitely knock anybody off and get a national title as well. Talk about that.
When we're in rhythm, I believe nobody can stop us. And I just yell again. I spoke about this in the locker room a little while ago. I said, "What is stopping us?" And they all yelled, "Penalties." And I said, "Yes." And I said, "So understand what's stopping us is us. But if we stay on rhythm, I don't think nobody's going to stop us. And that's the biggest thing for us. So that's something that we really need to continue to work on."
Did the week off help you a little bit more to prepare for Gorman?
I don't know, because Gorman also had a week off too. So they had 2 weeks to prepare too. So again, I mean, I wish we had a game to play that last week.
Right.
But, you know, we just stayed focused and just trying to get better each day.
And the Monarchs for winning this edition of number 1 versus number 2. Stay tuned for the next number 1 versus 2 battle coming up in late October. Coach Browner is a class act, and it'll be no surprise when he wins his next national title. Prep Sports America is brought to you in part by Suzuki Motorsports. Until next time, see you then.